this video, we're going to show you why the Basilica di San Francesco is one of the places you have to see if you're visiting Assisi.
Old town. Classic.
Welcome to Traventures, your #1 resource for family travel and information. Okay, so first up on the docket, the Basilica di San Francesco.
It's a church.
No, it's a basilica.
The Basilica of San Francesco is a center, a very important place for Catholicism.
Dedicated to Saint Francis, the patron saint of Italy, who was born, lived, and died in the city of Assisi.
So let me tell you the story of Saint Francis. So Saint Francis was actually born into wealth and riches, and his father wanted him to take over the family business. So he was doing the local trading, and a beggar came up to him and begged for money. And he was so touched by this that as soon as the business deal was over, he ran back to the beggar and gave him everything that he had. And later, St. Francis denounced his father, stripped himself naked of his wealth and stature, literally naked, and the Bishop of Assisi covered him with his robes. And from then on, he was a part of the church and tried to follow the teachings of Christ.
Had the goal of reforming the church, lived a life of poverty, and wrote the famous hymn, All Creatures of Our God and King.
Pretty cool.
And is the only church to have a papal throne outside of the Vatican.
The Basilica of San Francesco has been a UNESCO Heritage Site since 2000.
And it's also one of the most significant pilgrimage sites for Christian pilgrims.
There's a long pilgrim footpath that goes all the way, almost from the train station to the Basilica of San Francesco. And on the bricks are names of people who have made this journey. It's a very beautiful area, nice peaceful walk up into the city of Assisi.
Construction began in the year 1228, and the church was built into the side of a hill.
And this hill was originally called the Colle d'Inferno, which means Hill of Hell in Italian. The reason it was called the Hill of Hell is it's because they would put their criminals to death on that hill.
Bad guys.
And after the Basilica di San Francesco was built, it was called the Hill of Paradise.
If you're an art historian, then Assisi is important. There's a lot of artwork inside the Basilica of San Francesco, and it's really worth checking out.
The basilica contains frescoes by Giotto, Cimabue, Lorenzetti, and Martini.
An unfortunate incident on September 26th of 1997, there were a couple of earthquakes that hit Italy. And while the specialists and friars were checking out the Basilica di San Francesco for damage, the aftershocks caused the vault to collapse, killing 4 of them, 2 of the friars and 2 of the specialists. So really an unfortunate incident. The basilica was actually closed for 2 years while they fixed the damage, and now it has reopened to the public and is great. I mean, granted, that was 20 years ago, so I hope that it has reopened since then. Thank you so much for touring the Basilica di San Francesco with us. Make sure you subscribe so that you can check out more sites from Assisi and all over Italy and all over the world.
Basilica of Saint Francis.
Now they're right outside the door. It's like zombies coming to get us. Or maybe that's the dog. It's a dog zombie. And UNESCO? Is it UNESCO? UNESCO? Stop! After the Basilica of what? Okay. Well, I was doing it good. Yeah, right there. It's all about me.